Today I would like to be highlighting about imaging of bowel ischemia. So there are some definitions that might be confusing, like bowel ischemia, mesenteric ischemia, or ischemic colitis. Actually, bowel ischemia is an umbrella term for a reduced blood flow of the whole intestine, and mesenteric refers for small intestine, and ischemic colitis refers for large intestine. So why does it matter? So it matters because bowel ischemia is very uncommon and life-threatening condition with non-specific symptoms and commonly misdiagnosed, leading to a catastrophic consequences. There is a classical symptom which is called pain out of proportion to exam, which means that a patient feels extreme pain. However, when we do physical examination, it comes out normal. So what actually happens? In this condition, there is inadequate blood flow from the vessels due to some regions to the particular segment of the bowel, which creates lack of oxygen, leading to cellular damage and ultimately necrosis and death with a multi-organ failure. So what is the role of the radiologist? As a radiologist, it's our job to train ourselves enough for the early suspicion and diagnosis with proper understanding of pathophysiology, image findings, and prognosis, playing a vital role along with the surgeons to save the patient's life and approach early intervention. So, on going to the classification, mesenteric ischemia can be acute or chronic and further categorized as either occlusive or non-occlusive. Occlusive mesenteric ischemia can affect both arteries and veins. Embolic arterial obstruction is the most common cause of acute mesenteric ischemia, accounting for around 40 to 50% of the cases. This is because typically in the previously setting of atherosclerotic changes and affects ostia of the mesenteric vessels. After critical stenosis occur, a period of low flow may cause vascular thrombosis and vessels occlusion, resulting in large territory of ischemic bowel. Mesenteric vessel thrombosis accounts for 5 to 15% due to the clotting disorders like factor V, or due to the deficiency of protein S, protein C, and another cause is non-occlusive mesenteric ischemia, which is also called NOMI. Is caused by either intestinal hypoperfusion in the absence of vascular occlusion. It accounts for around 5 to 15% of the cases. And at last, the chronic ischemia is due to the radiation enteritis or any atherosclerotic stenosis. So basically there are four basic causal mechanisms under the primary and secondary cause, where inadequate inflow may be due to arterial, outflow due to venous occlusion, global hypoperfusion in NOMI as a result of shock bowel, and strangulated closed loop bowel obstruction. These are the various causes of acute mesenteric ischemia. So, which vessels are involved? There are mainly three types of vessels which is involved: celiac, superior mesenteric artery, and inferior mesenteric artery. The superior mesenteric artery is the most commonly affected, likely secondary due to the high flow rate and narrow angle of takeoff from anywhere from the abdominal aorta. Most emboli lodged anywhere from the 3 to 10 centimeter distal to the vessel's origin. And as we can see in the picture, the superior mesenteric artery supplies most of the ascending colon, cecum, as well as 1/3 of the transverse colon and most of the small bowel. And superior mesenteric vein in collaterals with the splenic vein joins the portal vein and distributes the vessels to the liver. So what are the imaging modalities? There are abdominal X-ray, which has some indirect signs like dilated bowel loops or interloop fluid collection in between the bowel. There are ultrasound, Doppler, venous or pulse. CT plain and contrast is the first line of the choice, and CT angiography is the gold standard. MRI is very useful if iodine contrast is contraindicated. So Actually, conventional radiographs are not that sensitive nor specific for assessment of mesenteric ischemia. According to the American College of Radiology, CTA is the gold standard and widely accepted. Doppler ultrasound CTA has a sensitivity of 96% and specificity of 34%. And CTA facilitates evaluation of both vascular and bowel abnormalities and may be useful in documenting potential alternative cause of abdominal pain. So when we come to the pulse Doppler, usually peak systolic velocity of greater than 275 centimeter per second in SMA are predictive of stenosis of more than 70%. However, the accuracy of ultrasound is heavily operator dependent, and presence of gas within the bowel lumen or large patient size can impede visualization of mesenteric vessels. So ultrasound is not usually routinely used to diagnose. So this is a picture of SMA stenosis with high velocity and low velocity in the post-stenotic zone. So summarizing the imaging feature, regardless of the etiology of mesenteric ischemia, the affected organ is bowel, with bowel ischemia resulting in a spectrum of imaging findings. Thus, there can be bowel wall hypoenhancement, there can be bowel wall thickening, there can be bowel wall dilatation, fat stranding, or pneumatosis. So coming to the bowel might first dilate and the wall may become thin and enhance less, and usually surrounded by fluid. Another frequent and non-specific finding is normally the 3 to 5 mm thick bowel can reach up to 15 mm and cause acute ischemia secondary to the mural hemorrhage or edema. This is hyperdense area within the bowel. We can see the areas of hemorrhage. There may be an abrupt cutoff of enhancement at the watershed areas of vascular supply, where we can see the transition point. We can see in the yellow arrow the transition point from enhancing to non-enhancing bowel. If the blood flow is partially restored, you might see the thickening of the wall. This is called reperfusion injury, and it happens because the wall cannot handle the new blood flow after being ischemic. Another criteria is called paper-thin bowel, which we can see in arterial occlusion. It is due to the irreversible transmural infection. Normal perfusion to the loops of the small and large bowel has a uniform, homogeneous, and mural enhancement. However, when the arterial flow decreases, the mural enhancement also decreases, leading to a pale ischemia. Another important sign of bowel ischemia and the wall damage is pneumatosis, which occurs when the gas forms in the bowel. The wall will typically be thickened and have a lot of small black dots of air within it. We can see it more in the lung settings, as we can see in the right side. Defining arterial occlusive and venous occlusive ischemia. In arterial, there is no or subtle bowel enhancement. In venous, it's hyperdense bowel. Arterial, it is thin out bowel, which is called paper-thin bowel. In venous, it is significant bowel thickening. In arterial, it's no mucosal enhancement versus mucosal enhancement. In arterial, the bowel loop dilatation only after the infarction, and in venous, dilated bowel loops is without infarction. So in arterial occlusion, we usually see a filling defect. The causes of arterial occlusion include emboli to the mesenteric vasculature, which commonly originate from the left atrium, left ventricle, or left-sided cardiac valve. And sagittal image here shows the relationship between the celiac artery, supramesenteric artery, and abdominal aorta. The patient has bright calcified plaque throughout the aorta related to arteriosclerosis sclerosis. There is acute occlusion of SMA proximally, which you can see, and we can see an abrupt cutoff where the contrast in the vessel stops due to the clot. Non-enhancing ischemic loops of the small bowel in the mid-lower abdomen and ascites can also be seen on the left side of the picture. In venous ischemia, due to the elevated venous pressure, bowel wall thickening, there is abnormal enhancement and fluid accumulation, resulting in hazy, congested looking like mesentery. There are some causes of venous occlusion. There is another sign called white-gray attenuation sign or target sign. In contrast to the paper-thin bowel, which we can see in arterial occlusion, hypodense edema, mesenteric occlusion includes circumferential bowel wall thickening. Hypodense edema in the submucosal layer of the bowel, interleaved between the enhancing mucosa and muscularis propria, causes a target or halo appearance. So here we can see the thickened and swollen bowel and some free fluid in the mesentery. Here in this picture, we can see the hypodense area in the superior mesenteric vein with surrounding inflammatory fat stranding. Bowel dilatation can be noted in the left side of the picture. Hypoenhancement pneumatosis and portal venous gas are consistent with ischemia. Large, poorly enhancing pancreatic mass here cause complete occlusion of superior mesenteric vein. So another topic is about non-occlusive mesenteric ischemia. It is due to the systemic low flow state or hypovolemia when the bowel is shocked. NOMI can be challenging to diagnose on CT as its imaging appearance may be similar to infection, inflammatory or traumatic forms of enteritis. There is, in this picture, you can see there is thickening of the bowel, decreased enhancement of the small bowel, and portal venous gas in the white arrow. And in the second picture, we can see the branches of the inferior mesenteric artery is low in caliber without evidence of occlusion. So these all findings are consistent with NOMI. Summarizing the underlying cause, arterial occlusion has a pale ischemia, paper-thin bowel. Venous occlusion has a marked bowel thickening, and NOMI has a shock bowel. On bowel obstruction due to the resulting in ischemia is termed that the strangulation. In strangulation, it's usually due to the adhesion where the two-point system is noted. Either the bowel is closed loop, both side is dilated and strangulated, leading to the vascular compromise. The bowel can be U-shape or C-shape. Point of obstruction has a beak-like appearance. Here, this is adhesion. There is odd group of bowels noted, which is hyperenhancing, and followed by a thinning and necrosis of the bowel. We can see the presence of air in this bowel after 5 days later. So there are some cases which are mimickers of bowel ischemia. They might be IBD, vasculitis, ileus. Role of MRI is non-invasive. It's a non-invasive alternative to the CT for the patients with contraindication to the radiation and iodinated contrast, not the first line of choice for the acute conditions. So for the interpreted approach, as a radiologist, number one, we should be doing a vascular assessment. Number two, we should be doing a bowel assessment. And number three, extra-intestinal assessment. In first, if we are evaluating SMA or SMB, we should note about the filling defect and describe the extent and distribution of the clot. In bowel, we can see about the thickening, thinning, and enhancement. In extra-intestinal assessment, we see the portomesenteric venous gas, edema, fluid, and or solid organ ischemia. Here is another case of arterial occlusion of 33-year-old woman. We can see the proximal SMA cutoff right here. There is some infarction noted in the right kidney, thrombus in the SMA. These are some cases which denotes the intestinalis, acute mesenteric ischemia of a 72-year-old man with the atrial fibrillation. And the last figure we can see is a gross specimen of a necrotic bowel. The conclusion is that the prompt clinical diagnosis and early implementation of therapeutic intervention are imperative to the improved patient outcomes. Thank you for your patience. Happy New Year 2083. Thank you.